What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2006 movie, My Super Ex-Girlfriend. This movie follows Matt Sanders, played by Luke Wilson. He's an architect, and he's going home from work and meets a woman on the subway named Jennifer, and right before they're about to get off the subway, a man steals her purse, and he goes and catches the guy, gets her purse back, and everything after he gives her purse back, they end up starting to date. And at first everything seems to be going normal and everything, and as the movie progresses, he finds out that she's a superhero named G-Girl, who's like the local superhero of the city. I think it's New York City, but I'm not 100% sure. But he's overwhelmed, and he doesn't like the way she's changed because she's like become really controlling. She's like telling him he can't hang out with his co-worker and friend Hannah, who has feelings for him, and he obviously has feelings for her and stuff. So she kind of had a right to be jealous, but she's like overbearingly jealous. And I think most guys have had that kind of girlfriend before. Like we've all dated that girl that doesn't want you to even look at another girl, and she's just always jealous and always worried that you're going to cheat on her and stuff like that. And he ends up breaking things off with her, and she keeps threatening him, and she like crashes down through his apartment ceiling and stuff. Like, it's kind of like a little gag in the movie. And after a while, he ends up starting to date Hannah, and like there's this really hilarious scene where Jennifer, I'm not going to call her G-Girl because it just sounds really silly, Hannah sees them and everything. Right after they have sex, he opens his curtains and everything like you do for some reason, and she's like right outside his window, floating in the air, and she's holding a shark, and she throws the shark in the window, and the shark chases him through the house and stuff. That scene is just absolutely hilarious, and one of the probably the best scene in the whole movie. And there's some other really funny stuff in here, and like it in order to get her to stop, and he's trying to he ends up teaming up with her nemesis, who ended up being her ex-boyfriend named Barry. They end up agreeing to work together, and Barry has this rock that was from the meteorite that gave her powers that can take them away and stuff, and they set it up for her to come to his house so he could get her powers taken away, and it ends up backfiring, and both Hannah and her end up getting their Hannah gets powers and Jennifer gets her powers back, and then they have this big cat fight throughout the city. And it's really funny and stuff. You think about like Zod and Superman and Man of Steel. It's kind of like that, except it's just a cat fight between two women fighting over Owen Wilson, which is already hard to believe would actually ever happen in real life, but it just is it's really funny moment and stuff. And like this movie is legit funny at times. It has some really funny moments. Like I said, the cat fight and the shark scene were both really funny, and there's some other scenes like when she's like intimidating him and stuff are fun scenes. But all in all, I think this is a decent movie. It's not like a super great one, but all of the cast in here are pretty decent. Uma Thurman as Jennifer is the one that really is the main reason to see this movie. She's just absolutely crazy in this movie, and she does a really, really great job. She's funny at times, she's quirky, and kind of does a really good job doing the downplaying of a nerdy person and stuff, because before she gets her powers, she's nerdy, and then when she loses her powers, and like in between doing superhero stuff, she acts all nerdy and anxious and shy and stuff. She's really good at doing that, and there's scenes when she's like really sexy and stuff too. She balances all of that stuff in this movie really well and everything. This movie really wasn't good enough to have her in this, so like she's a really great actress and deserves a lot better than this. Although I will say it's definitely a lot better than some movies. That this movie could have been a lot worse and everything. Anna Faris as Hannah is really good too. She's really funny. She's kind of silly, and you can tell she's not like the brightest person and stuff, just like Anna Faris always is and everything. But she was good enough in this movie, and I thought her chemistry with Owen Wilson was really good. I think both of them did work good with Owen Wilson, but it just isn't really believable seeing him. I could see him with Anna Faris more than I could with Thurman, which in the end that's pretty much how it works out, because we find out that Barry still has always had feelings for Jennifer still, and that's why he became her enemy, to get her attention and stuff. And they end up getting back together, which was really cringy ending. Like the dialogue in that scene when they get back together is really cringy and just looks is really horrible and everything. And their chemistry just is okay, but their relationship isn't really built up and everything. This movie just gets a pass on, is passable on things. Like it could have dived deeper into their relationship, and it would have been a lot cooler to see more of her origins and stuff and everything. But I know they were just going for a romantic comedy, not really trying to go too much into the superhero stuff, which is probably good, because the CGI in here is absolutely horrible. It has some really bad CGI that has not aged well at all. And like the score for the movie, I don't know who did the score for this movie, but it's like really generic rom-com score and everything. And there's times during action scenes that you can tell they're somewhat trying to make it more epic, like a superhero score, but that mixing that and the rom-com scores just do not really work. It's really bland and just not very good. But yeah, I think that Eddie Izzard, he plays Barry. I thought he did a good job. Like when he's her arch nemesis, he's Professor Bedlam. I don't remember. I think the movie said why he went by that, but I don't remember why. I think it was because they were on their way home from a Bedlam football game. Maybe I don't remember. But it was really silly, and and the scene stealer of the movie, Rainn Wilson, plays Vaughn, who is Matt's best friend, and he's really funny and stuff in here. He doesn't have a lot to do with it, but I think this is like kind of a perfect role for him, because he's not like a huge part. Because I've noticed that a lot of movies where he's the main character, he kind of annoys me a little bit, but this movie has just enough of him where he doesn't really get on my nerves. I thought he was good enough. And Wanda Sykes is in here too, which I noticed back in the early to late 2000s. She was in a lot of comedy movies, always just a small role, usually never had much to do and stuff. In this movie, she doesn't really either. She's just kind of wasted in here, just one of the people working at the place that Matt and Hannah works at, and she's okay. I mean, she's funny and everything. I like Wanda Sykes. I just thought she was wasted in here. But I think Ivan Reitman did a pretty good job directing it and everything. I think it could have been a much better movie, though. Like I said, the writing is mixed on there. There's some really funny moments, and there's a lot of really cringy moments. The full ending was just really cringy and everything. And the cat fight was cringy, but it was also funny and stuff at the same time, if that makes sense. And like the whole stuff with her, the happily ever after stuff is just really cliched and annoying and everything. And some movies it works better than others. This one, it just didn't really work very well and everything. Like, I don't get why Hannah and Matt would even be willing to still want to talk to Jennifer after everything, but they I guess wanted to give it a good closure and everything, and make her where she's not completely bad, I guess. But it's an alright movie. It's not anything super great. It's one that probably most people would say is a guilty pleasure movie. I don't really mind watching it every once in a while, but it's not one that I'd want to revisit all the time and everything. I think it had a lot of potential to be a lot better. I kind of wish that they would have built up their relationship more, and it kind of felt rushed and stuff. The movie's only like an hour and 36 minutes, and I kind of wouldn't have minded them making it a little bit longer, give more backstory to the characters and stuff. But all in all, this is just an alright movie. But let me know in the comments what you think of My Super Ex-Girlfriend, and yeah, so I'd say I'd give it a 7 out of 10 and everything. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.